welcome back to my channel. My name's Callista. If you're new here, I like to talk about spirituality, self-growth, and the universe, all things like that. So if you're interested, then subscribe. Today, I wanted to talk about something that has been heavy on my mind the past couple of days, specifically the abundance mindset and the law of attraction. So I've had a couple of conversations with some people lately, and it's just fresh on my mind, and so I just really need to get it out. We are capable of a lot more than what we think. My neighbors are watching me. I hate it when this happens. So we are able to manifest anything that we desire just through our mind. So I think when people hear that, they kind of misunderstand and think that it's because there's some type of magic or voodoo happening. And like, I think that there is a magic to it. But there is science behind it, and it does make sense. Based on what we think about, how we think, and how we feel is what can ultimately make us manifest things. And that can be manifestation in a positive way, and then it can also be in a negative way. I still find myself a little confused sometimes when it comes to manifesting because it almost seems like it's too simple and therefore impossible to make big changes with like such little effort almost. But after doing more research and just practicing in general and learning more about how it all works and like seeing it firsthand, it's actually a little bit harder because of the way that our brains work. So I was having this conversation with one of my friends, which I'm sure she'll watch this, so so hi. So my friend was telling me about this book, and it's called Thinking Fast and Slow. And so the whole book isn't about like manifesting and like this topic. It was about some off-topic things that I don't really talk about on here or like am really into. But it was like a study about how us as humans and our brains, we just focus more on the negatives than the positives just naturally. So like if you go back to a memory or like a situation or a specific day or like something that happened, you're naturally going to think about the worst part of it all and how it ended, which makes sense. If you think about it, if you recall an event or a relationship or something, then you're probably going to remember the negative things more than the positive things. So to add on to that, it's the same with gains and losses. So if you are to lose something and then gain something, you're ultimately going to be more affected by the loss of something. So the example that the book gave was $10. So say you lose $10 or you gain $10. If you were to lose that $10, then it would affect you more and it would feel like you lost more than how it would feel if you gained $10. So after my friend told me about this, I was thinking about it and I was like, that actually makes so much sense, and I can relate that to different areas of my own life. So that being said, we focus more on the negative things, and it actually takes work for us to focus on the positive things. And like it's almost like a switch in your brain that you have to do to actually focus on the positive aspects of things or just positive things in general. So it actually takes a little bit of work to focus on those positive things other than the negative things, and whatever you are thinking about is what is ultimately going to manifest into your life. So if you're thinking a lot more about the negative side of things or like things that are going wrong or things that are stressing you out, then that's just going to show up more in your life, and then it's just gonna keep coming because you're focusing on it. So if you were to reverse that and you were focusing more on like the good things and like things that you want or things that you want to feel, or the good things that are happening in your life, or focusing on that $10 gain instead of that $10 loss, then that's what's going to keep coming. You're going to keep gaining things. You're going to keep seeing those more positive things coming into your life. So another thing that I related this to was a game that I used to kind of play with myself or with my brother when we were on like road trips or something, is we would try to find like a specific type of car or like a specific color of car. Or we'd play a game where you'd go down the alphabet and you had to find words that started with that letter of the alphabet. And so you're looking for those things. You're looking for that yellow car that you never see, or a specific brand of car that no one has, or finding that word that starts with the letter that you're trying to find. Because you're focusing on it and you're trying to find it, it's going to show up. You'll see more of them, or you'll be like, oh wow, there's another yellow car, or there's another word that starts with the letter B. Like, that's like one example. And then I wanted to talk about money and the abundance mindset. So personally, when I'm in a mindset where I feel like I have a lot of money, or I feel like I can spend however much I want, or in that mindset where I'm rich and I'm manifesting money, like money flows to me and all that good stuff, I just simply do have money regardless what's happening in my bank account. But when I'm stressed about money and I don't feel like I have enough, and I'm not in that mindset where I feel like abundance, I just feel lack, then that's when I legitimately don't have money, and like what is happening in my bank account is not what it was when I was focusing on more of an abundance mindset. If you're always stressing about money or worrying that you don't have enough, then you're not going to, and you're just gonna keep attracting the stress. You're gonna attract the lack, and you're ultimately gonna have no money. If you have a millionaire mindset, even if you aren't a millionaire, but if you feel as though you're one and you act as though you're one, then that's what's gonna come to you. The universe is going to give you what you're projecting. So one of the laws of the universe is the law of abundance, which is there's an infinite amount of everything. Like, we have enough for everyone. There's no such thing as lack, and it's just the mindset that we need in order to get that abundance. And so if you are thinking abundance, then the universe has to give you abundance, because it's literally the law of the universe. I really want you to try this out for yourself and see how it affects you. It feels really weird at first, and also at first you kind of think of it as illogical and almost stupid, because you're like, okay, well, I can't act like I'm a millionaire if I'm not actually a millionaire. And you can act like one, think like one, and feel like one. So I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks that I use personally when I'm trying to get into an abundance mindset, or things that I have noticed that help me get into that abundance mindset or draw abundance to me. The first one, and this is the most important one, gratitude. So going back to that book I was talking about earlier, if you focus more on what you do have or what you're gaining, the positives, then that's what's going to come into your life. And it ultimately makes you feel better and gives you a better outlook on life and makes you feel better. And I just feel like it's almost a waste of time to focus on the negatives. I know it's hard and I'm not perfect at it, of course. And there's times where I feel like all I can think about is the negatives. But there's always something to be grateful for in every single situation. And so if you are feeling that sense of lack, then switch it to a sense of gratitude. So be grateful that you do get a paycheck. Be grateful that you do have somewhere to live. You have food, water, you're able to do XYZ. There's a lot of things to be grateful for, and it will just naturally start to feel better. The second thing is something I read in, I think, one of my manifesting books that I've read. I want to do a video about it, but I haven't yet. But something it said in there was that adding stress to a situation only is going to make the situation worse, and it just creates resistance. And so when there's resistance, then it blocks the flow, which the universe is always in a state of flow. And so if you are resisting and you're blocking that flow, then you're going to feel it. It's going to feel bad and negative, and you're going to get stressed. So for me, going back to the money thing again, stressing about money all the time, stressing that I don't have enough, stressing that I have a lack of it is only going to make things worse, and I'm just gonna feel an even more sense of lack, and the universe can't flow abundance into my life if I'm resisting in that way. The third thing I recommend is visualization, meditation, and focusing on the good. So I have noticed that when I am in a state of doubt or stress, then visualizing what I do want makes me feel those feelings that I do want to feel. So if I visualize my dream house, or like my dream career, or having a lot of money, or health, wealth, abundance, everything, then it creates that feeling within you. And if you do want to manifest something, you have to not only be thinking it, but you have to feel it. And you have to really put yourself in that situation that you want to be in. Focusing on the good is ultimately going to help you the most. If something bad happens to you, or you're feeling a sense of lack, just always focus on those good things. Focus on what you are doing right and what is happening in your life that you do want. And if it feels like nothing, I promise you there's always something, even if it seems like the smallest thing. But sometimes you have to start really small so that you can get to the bigger things. So yeah, just remember that ultimately what you think is what is going to manifest into your life, and it's going to affect your vibration. Something else to think about is be careful what phrases you're using, like on repeat. Things that you don't notice that you're saying or thinking, try to notice, because it is ultimately true. Whatever you say is true. So if you are thinking, I don't have money, I don't have money, I don't have enough money to pay for that, I don't have enough money for this, then you're not going to. Even if you don't have that money, just think that you do, and eventually you will. It's simple but hard at the same time, and like I said before, our brains naturally do not think that way. They're naturally going to go to the lack and the loss and the negatives. But if you put in that work to focus on those positive things, then you're going to get those positive things back, and your life is just going to be so much better. Okay, well, I think that's all for me today, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments, or what you guys are trying to manifest, or the thoughts that you're thinking day to day that are affecting you in a negative way or a positive way. So I'll see you guys next time. Have a good day. I'll see y'all later. Okay.